I get some comments of people asking what mods am I using, and I thought I'd just throw something together just to show you a little overview of what I use. So first off, we are going to go on a map. This is a misser. The map itself is still in development, but it is playable, and you can set up base and do all the things. It's very much an active community as well. They have their own Discord. They have testers in there because the map is still being literally developed as we speak. It's updated regularly as well, so new things are added, just with the Wyvern Trench as well. So they've added new materials, new sources. There are areas like this one I'm just flying over at the minute. This is a new area that's not long been added. It doesn't have any dinos or spawn locations on or anything yet, and it's still very much in development. But you can come here, you can look at it, and you can harvest it as well. So it's got its own crops, it's got its own little buildings and things. The desert has its own biome as well, so it is a desert. It's just waiting for Scorch to be released, as we are all. And it's going to have the new the dinos and things added to it as well. There are locations on the map where there are buildings, and you can build in them. Some of the places you can't, because they're like designated spawn points. So when you first start on the map, you spawn in a relatively quiet area. But there are some buildings that you can make your own. You'll need foundations, obviously, but other than that, you can acquire some really nice real estate pre-made. The map is stunning itself, with lots of points of interest, ways to get about. There are bridges and dungeons as well, so you can go through. This is the artifact dungeon. So it's like a cave, but it's been made in the style of like a labyrinth dungeon, and it's got its own loot as well, and some of the stuff is pretty good. Right, so this is a misser. It's still pretty much in development, guys, and yeah, it is my recommendation for a good map. Right, the next one we're going to look at is Ark Descended. Right, so this is the one where all the vanilla dinos get super boosted into something absolute crazy. So it comes with its own smithy, like a little console if you like, and its own resources. So you're gonna need something to tame. So you're gonna need kibbles when you collect dinos, resources from dinos. It's got its own armor set. Oh man, it's so intricate. So this is the first set of armor, if you like. It also increases your weight, increases your stamina, increases your health, but you need more than 3 pieces, I think it is. You need more than 3 pieces to get like the little bit of a buff that the first one does. So if you have any less than 3, you drop down and become normal again. But yes, it is like a progression one. So this armor is like the super armor. It comes in various different ones. I mean, you get the ascendant ones, and basically you don't run out of stamina. You run faster. You can carry a hell of a lot more weight. You've got more health. You're virtually immune to everything like poisons and stuff. It basically makes you God. It makes you God in Ark. But that is a little down the ways, as you can see. Like the stats are pretty good for it, just for a basic stats. It allows you to do like take no fall damage as well. I mean, the list is endless. You are in God mode with this, but don't become too complacent, because there are dinos that can get through this armor. So it's not as good as it is, but it's a progression kind of a thing. So you start out by taming dodos, and then you could end up with something like this crazy beast here. So you'll notice that it's the saddle is kind of crazy, and it's got armor as well, and it's got an insane amount of health and melee damage. So these are the other items that you put in it as well. It's all craftable, it's quite intricate, and it's a progression kind of thing. So you have to kill one set of dinos, collect stuff off that, and then you use them resources to harvest and create some other kind of tribute. And then once you get them, it's basically like a rolling progression type thing. And you have to have some pretty good dinos to tackle some of these, as we'll soon find out. But yeah, there are all sorts of kind of resources, different souls to collect, all different dinos. So I mean, I kind of stuck with the divine, but there's the devilish and divine, and then there's even higher tiers than that one as well. But I am still pretty much in the series, and again, these mods are still in development. So every time that you log on, you're always best to check your mods, see if they need updating or anything like that, or join the discords. The majority of mod makers, if you go to the mod page, have their own discord, and they will keep you up to date there, and they will probably tell you what's coming in the future. So now we're just doing some resource collecting, and you can see crazy damage numbers. And that Quetzal has 1.8 million health, and now it's just getting obliterated in seconds. But that is pretty low in the scheme of things of dinos. So yeah, so we can collect a buttload of resources there. So we've got ancient tokens, and we need them to progress to kind of the next ones. And you'll just see, like, just in the world, just having like just destroying absolutely everything. Again, these are pretty much, I say standard dinos, but they're not standard at all. Going back, there are some like kind of these are the beginning teams, if you like, and even these are crazy. So like this one has an insane running speed. Obviously it's a Microraptor, a rideable one, I might add. And it also gets resources for you in its inventory. So there are things that we can resources that you can get kind of passively. Other things that you have to collect either through through eggs or through killing the dinos and collecting resources that way. I mean, this guy's producing pearls and essence just in his inventory. He's not very powerful, but he is quick. But the thing you've got to learn about this world is there's always something bigger, always something quicker. And there you go. I have just got chucked off my mount, and boom, there we go. It's all over. So you have to be very careful. Some of the dinos have really good special abilities. I mean, this Anki can gather metal for days. And also, he is crafting metal in his inventory while we are gathering it. You may have noticed, like, the metal is stacking up in huge amounts. And that is because we have got a stack mod as well. Yes. So it's no good having all these super dinos that can gather all this metal and resources if you cannot get a good enough stack together. So I always kind of run with a stack mod on it as well, just because it makes it easier for gathering resources. Okay, so the next mod that we're going to look at is Arc Primal Chaos. It's pretty much the same kind of thing with the crazy dinos and the different kind of resources. People normally run with either one or the other. This time I'm running with both. They do kind of like conflict with each other sometimes because like there'll be so many different kinds of spawns of one dino than the other. I tend to swap them about position 1, position 2 from time to time. That kind of helps. But again, it's got its own unique crafting system. If you've got different kibbles for different kinds of dinos. Each dino is unique, has its own ability as well. I I craft up and use the health potions mainly in this one, and use the dinos for the resource as well, like for farming. So I need eggs and stuff to make kibbles. They've got their own kind of bosses as well. So they've got the guardians and the other ones, the nightmare ones, which we are only just getting into. So it is pretty much the same as the last one. Again, this is very much in development, and new things are being added and different things are being tweaked as well. So it's not the same every time you log on. Something is always a little different. I think the last update they added fairies. So these are the tranks I use out of this mod. So the chaos one, so there's a carch there, so it's like literally 1 and 2. You'll also notice I am using a spyglass mod. So I use this one basically to keep an eye on torpor and health and any other things, levels. It's kind of a must on any server. Some of the dinos require a little bit more finesse. So there are different taming methods. This guy will not get tranked out with normal tranks. You have to use the rocket launcher to kind of knock him out. They're the special demonic rockets as well. It's got its own system of kibble, so it just takes 2 of them. And boom, obviously depending on what your rates on your server are. But yeah, it's all craftable. These dinos are insane against normal dinos. This guy, the Reaper Queen, it's got like a fire attack. So the demonic ones do have like a fire. They've got specials as well. I mean, they've got the normal stuff, the tail whips and the venom spit, which is now replaced with fireballs. If you get a bit more accurate on it, you can do a lot of damage. That's just a standard Bronto, but it's literally just gone in seconds. So you can imagine, like, if you've got one of these in a normal world, it's crazy. This is I'm on my descendant one, fighting a chaos raptor, and my health has gone down quite a bit. But I use their health potions. Again, each one has got their kind of different take on things. But yeah, I use like this one for the health potions. Again, insane dinos. And it's a really good fun mod. Alright, the next one we use is human NPCs. Now these are like characters in Ark. They create their own little village and they tame dinos, and they are kind of peaceful, but you have to approach them with no weapon drawn, and you have to wave as well, because if you don't appear friendly, they will attack you. And also, if you go snooping in the house, they have resources, and they don't like that. So you're best off getting friendly with them first, maybe tame a few up, or if you get to a level where you can just get their resources. These are pretty good early game. When you're early game and you need something specific, maybe black pearls or honey or various different bits of armor. So I mean, you have to kind of wave, but sometimes waving is not enough. There we are, everybody's chilled out now. So as long as you don't take anything, I mean, if you have a little look, there you go. So they're the kind of resources that you're going to get. Yeah, be careful, because some of the villagers will be mad at you, and you can wave your hands all you like. There we go, we've chilled out. Just withdraw. Just keep waving your hands. Eventually, you can, you can tame them up. You can tame them up on various different things. If you use the awesome spyglass, it'll give you a list of stuff that you can do. You can change the armor. You can add things to them. You can take things out of the inventory as well. You can't really put modded armor on stuff like that. You can craft standard armor, but it doesn't like the modded armor that you put on it. But you can use them for, I don't know, you could use them for like defensive around your base. You can, you team them up, you can get them to follow you. You can even send them out harvesting as well. Some of these guys are, they have a specific role. So some guys are like battlers, and you can basically send them to protect an area. They will guard an area as well. So they pop up everywhere around the map. There is like nowhere where they won't pop up. Oh, hello. Some guy. No. No. Again, you can treat them like dinos. Okay, we'll just get rid of you. You can treat them like dinos. They've got whistle aggressive, whistle passive. They will follow you. They will do... Well, they are basically dinos. You can't ride them and you can't breed with them. But they are super handy to have around your base. Basically, they'll be like little alarm systems. So if anything's coming, you just leave them on wander. They'll just wander around gathering stuff. They don't gather a huge amount, but they'll just occasionally pop stuff in the inventory. So this guy is like a brute as well. So he will kill or knock out things. You can send him on little missions, but I won't advise it in a crazy modded place because like he will get ruined instantly. But yeah, super handy early game because you can use their huts as resources, and then obviously if you kill a couple, you can take their armor and use their armor. So if you're fresh spawned in, you're level 1, 2 to 10, and you've got hardly anything. You come across one of these encampments, you can take some of their stuff if you're feeling brave. They've got different environments as well. So this one's a little igloo. They do have their own structures. There's nothing crazy. I haven't seen anything other than stone. I haven't seen any metal or tech yet. But who knows? Again, these mods are still in constant development and very much fun to use. Inevitably in Ark, you're gonna die and you're gonna lose your stuff, but with this mod you can get it back. So I use the gravestone mod. It basically pulls all your items from your corpse back into your living inventory. So yeah, so I have just spawned from the bed, got nothing in, absolutely nothing, but we use the gravestone and then pull everything back, and voila, everything is back to normal. All my armor, because some of these armors that you know, that you acquire, they are pretty hard to get or pretty hard to craft, and it's quite painful when you use them, when you lose them, sorry. Right, the next mod I've got is kind of a, well, it was a gift from Axeman at Christmas. So this is little Jim. Oh, let me put my death marker in there. There we go. So I am collecting those. So yeah, so here is little Jim. He is just a little chibi that Axeman commissioned for me. Right, so this one is the medieval mod. It's mainly more of like a cosmetic. There is a ton of cosmetics in here, but some of them are like functional cosmetics as well. So they actually do things. I mean, this looks friggin' awesome. Look at it. Game of Thrones thrones. There are lots of little things like chairs, tables and things. You can make kitchens and that, but also there are practical things like this kind of grinder. You can convert organic polymer into ordinary polymer. It doesn't use electricity because it's medieval. Things get powered by, I don't know, there's charcoal and spark powder and things like that. These are the storages, so you can see what kind of things you are storing. So obviously we've got thatch, hide. This is thatch. So there we go. And it just gives a little illustration of what we've got. This is the sort of kind of refrigerator preserving bin. Again, it's got a hell of a lot of slots. It keeps things cool for a long time. It doesn't really use that much smart powder, which we need that over here. So this is like a mortar pestle, but an industrial kind of standard one. It grinds stuff up very, very quickly. Again, like this mod has got a ton of things in, from candles to sideboards and things. You can go ham with it. It's full of like all things, plates, mugs, dishes. It's insane, the level of quality and things you can have in your gameplay. Again, this is a little cooker. It works as an industrial cooker, and you can do, as long as it's in an area of water, you can craft dyes and kibbles and things like that. It basically works like an industrial cooker, but it doesn't cost as much, and there are different aesthetics for it as well. This one is the chicken one. There is a fish, a chicken, and a normal kind of grill. So each one kind of looks different, so you can set them out different. This is the forge. Again, it works like an industrial forge. It will just produce metal or things like that. There are different variants of that. It's got its own food as well, so you can craft food. You can make apple pies and stuff. You need a special crop plots to grow them, but you can do apples. What we got in here? Like there's olives, limes, all things, and the trees look kind of nice as well. Like each one has got a different kind of look to it. It's really good. I've only just started to get into this kind of mod. There are lots of things that basically just look pretty. This doesn't do anything. It doesn't store anything. But we can change the looks of it. We can change like the color of the wood, the style, and everything like that. It is really good, and that just sits there looking pretty. Again, this is the arc dummy, but now it's like a board, so we can use it for target practice. You can set a courtyard up. It's got a ton of things in there. I think they're like even like a hangman's noose, like a gallows. There's a full set of gallows. So yeah, so I have only just basically touched that, but again, part practical and part aesthetics. Very, very good. Also, there is a chemical bench, but you can craft kind of potions in it that do things that go beyond normal potions. So I use this for growing up my babies. So you can get full imprint and instant growth with very small resources. Basically, it just takes a bunch of berries. You slip one of these in your little baby. They are easy to produce. I think the other mods have them in, but the resources that you need to make them are quite expensive. So it's basically whatever's best for you. I've got 3 different types of mods that do the same thing, and this is the cheapest. So I use that as 100% imprint, and it's ready. Right. So this is the next mod. This is my cryopod mod. So you get a gun with it, and you can pod them instantly. And also you get a little collector as well. So it will collect babies. It'll collect babies for you. And it stores them in there. So it imprints them for you and just holds them in there. So when you are ready to pop them out and make them bigger or whatever, you can do that. And you can just leave it and let it keep popping them into its own devices. The resources that you can craft on yourself, you don't have to go anywhere specific. You can just craft them on your own inventory. They're not that expensive, but if you want to do it, they're fairly heavy. Right, so there's nothing in here. The baby's just about to pop out, so boom, instantly pops in there and saves it for you, and then you can see all its stats and everything. You can use it without the gun as well. Obviously, you just hold them up. And when you do hold them up, it gives you like a little pink or blue, depending on the sex of the dino. And you can throw them out instantly. pop them out. No cryo sickness. Just one after another. And it does give you a little illustration as well of what you're actually holding in your hand. So yeah, so you can see like the difference, the male and females. Super handy. I've tried another mod, but that was a configurable mod, and that was kind of awful actually. So this one is the upgrade station. Now this is awesome, this is. So you can put resources in, you can take a standard tool and you can upgrade it to, well, maximum 100%. Just keep going all the way. Depending on the resources, so the more that you kind of upgrade it, the more it's going to cost you. But also, it does modded things as well. So even if you've got a completely different mod, that anything that requires a certain type of resource, you can stick it in there and you can upgrade it. But it does become very expensive. It'll only go so far. It'll upgrade to 100%, so you can keep going even when you get into the ascended territory. It's totally random, but some of these saddles are OP saddles anyway. And now you can get like a grinding station, so every little bit that you collect in this world, because you do collect quite a lot of garbage, you can salvage the items. It basically just acts like a grinder, and you can regrind your stuff. Some people have found it to be a little less than a standard grinder, but who knows. This is the augment station. So basically you can take items and you can increase like things like the durability, heat and cold resistance as well. It's fairly cheap to craft, so you have to craft up some little bits and bobs first, and then you apply them to your armor, and then that is it. It upgrades it for you. Right guys, I think that's going to be it for this one. So these are the kind of mods that I am using on my series, Emissa Descended Chaos, sort of a play on words. So I'm using the main mods to basically incorporate that into the series. But yeah, so if you're enjoying this, don't forget to whack a like on it, comment, subscribe, and if you haven't checked out the series, go to my channel, subscribe, and check out the series. It's on a playlist, or you can just pick up from where you left off. We are getting quite far through now. We are getting some crazy dinos, and we are into like godlike territory now, where the dinos do like a couple of 100,000 damage per hit. It's quite insane compared to where we first started from, where we died literally to dodos. We was killed instantly from dodos. Right then guys, don't forget to whack a like on it, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.